Some say it began even before there was a wall, when they were pouring the foundation, and a man asked if he could drop a Purple Heart into the wet cement. It belonged to his brother, he said. As the metal disappeared, the man saluted. In the years since, more than 100 Purple Hearts have been left at the wall amid tens of thousands of items, from a Congressional Medal of Honor to a motorcycle. Some fulfill a battlefield promise to a buddy who didn't make it home, but most say goodbye or just thank you.
People are still trying to come to terms with the Vietnam experience. People 25 years after the fact are still trying to come to terms with the loss of a son or an uncle.
In a ritual repeated at least twice a day, the park ranger on duty collects, bags, and labels the items that transcend the usual flowers and flags. Abe Lincoln may watch over them for a while. As they languish in a locker at his nearby memorial, before they are sent to an unassuming government warehouse in the suburbs. Along with artifacts from all U.S. parklands, they are cataloged and stored. But unlike anything else here, the tributes from the wall are treated with an almost religious reverence.
Once they cross that threshold, they're no longer, quote, common objects. They are now treated as icons. What we have here are some insignias that were left by a steward who was on the Hong Kong flight during the Vietnam War. This is really in the raw stage. This is how the artifacts are picked up, look after they are picked up by the rangers and they're bagged.
Everybody who works with the collection wears white gloves out of respect for the objects and the stories they tell.
If you examine this photograph, there's a black Marine and a white Marine. The black Marine is wearing a neckerchief. He explains in this letter that this is the neckerchief that he was wearing when this photograph was taken. His buddy, the white Marine, was killed, so he's leaving this offering in remembrance of his friend. This collection is a social history collection that is now in the museum world. The focus is on social history, the history of the common, quote, common man. This is a collection that's being written from the bottom up instead of from the top down. We have a hat that came in. This is a beaver felt hat that was left at the memorial.
Can you venture a guess?
No, I know that they were very popular with the, quote, hippies.
If it sounds like this is more than just a job to Dury Felton, perhaps that's because he, too, still carries the scars of Vietnam.
North Vietnamese Army. There are certain times that regardless of how much you try to remain detached, there are certain articles that bring you back to Vietnam. We've had examples where someone has placed a neckerchief in a Ziploc bag, and we would open it, and the smells of Vietnam would waft through the facility. So, of course, I sometimes can't help but think about those areas in which I operated and with the friends, the good men I served with. This correspondence, this letter is from a Vietnamese, and it's a thank you letter. And it's to the Americans who served in Vietnam. And he goes on to explain how it must have been to be drafted and served in a strange country. I have a baseball that was left. It's been inscribed March 22, 1969, Love Bomb. Something else we are trying to do is to add a face to those names on the wall. A lot of people alive today who knew those individuals. Those individuals were someone's son, someone's father, someone's nephew, someone's uncle. There were people you loved, there were people you hated. But regardless of their status, they were people who lived. And we want to know about these individuals.